Well, welcome to the Aging Boomers. I'm your host, Frank Sampson. Of course, on this show, we discuss so many of the issues facing boomers, their parents, and what we know, of course, is an aging population. And I just want to thank you all for your support. So many of you have gone on iTunes, iHeartRadio. Download our free app if you haven't done so. It's kind of an easy way to do it. Just if you have an iPhone, Android phone, just go into apps, type in Aging Boomers, free app, download, and you'll get updated on each of our interviews twice a week, Monday and Friday. So thanks again for all your support, and want to remind everybody that today's show is sponsored by Senior Care Authority, a professional senior placement and elder care management organization that has a national network of advisors to help in determining the right path for seniors and receiving proper care and even supervision. So whether it's in-home care, assisted living, residential, or memory care, get the necessary advice from a senior care advisor in your area by calling Senior Care Authority at 888-809-1231, or you can go directly to the website at www.seniorcareauthority.com. So I'm always excited about our guests, but this is kind of a little unique. I mean, we haven't had anybody come on talking about technology, especially with emphasis on seniors. So I want to welcome Curtis Golden, who is a senior electronic life consultant and Silicon Valley professional with over 25 years experience in computer technology and training. He has installed, configured, and repaired numerous computer hardware and software applications and taught hundreds of computer classes to diverse audiences. His company, Senior Savvy, works with seniors by helping them gain an understanding with today's technologies, including computer programs, cameras, and even TV remotes. Boy, you're going to have to talk to my wife on the TV remotes. But Curtis, welcome to the Aging Boomers. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Frank. It's a real privilege to be here today and to talk with you about this exciting new program I have going, working with seniors to keep them engaged with today's technologies.
Yeah, well, great. Listen, I'm really like to know. I mean, you have a high-tech background. You're in in technology world there in Silicon Valley. What was the catalyst for you starting Senior Savvy? Tell us how that got going.
Absolutely, Frank. So everything really started. It was actually a progress that took over towards the end of 2011. I'd worked in the Valley since 1985, and what I noticed really was apparent there was it was very transient and very, very just something that wasn't very, you couldn't grab a hold of anything. There was a lot of issues going on in the Valley, a lot of changes. Companies were merging, companies were being sold, plans were changing. There were no books to describe how the Valley should work because everything's at the forefront. So with that, I was a technical trainer and technical writer among other positions in most of these firms. And you would do a job. They would ask you to write a manual, write a process, discuss how something is supposed to work. And you'd work on it, and I created it, and it was a very good product. And I'd submit it, and then they'd say, oh, well, guess what? The program changed, or there was a difference in what we thought we wanted to do here, so nothing went with it. Followed that with the constant layoffs, the rehires, the more layoffs, more rehires. There was just no solid ground to really stand on and do something that I could really say I was very proud of doing. Right. So with that, in January of 2012, after that last layoff, I decided if there's ever a time in my life that I should start something to bring a service to an audience that really would embrace this idea, I decided Senior Savvy needed to start now.
Well, I commend you for it. I think it's great what you're doing. I really do. Tell us, I mean, we gave you in the introduction, there's certainly a wide range of services you perform, and I know you don't just work with seniors, but we're going to concentrate our efforts there. So the services, what are some of the top services? What would you say, top few that people are really calling you for assistance with?
Right. I would say the biggest draw right now is seniors really do want to be connected. There is no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. They'd like to understand when they're sitting at the family table and their grandkids are going around BTW, POS, I've got this latest color printer and that type of thing, and I've Skyped somebody. They want to be part of that world and know what's going on. So I would say the top products that people are interested in are the computers, and in specific networking these computers so that they can reach out to their families and friends and be connected to their community. Email is a very big draw. So it's free. Yahoo, Gmail, they love it. How to use the email so that they can get what they want said and heard. Microsoft Word and, of course, Skype are big news because that allows them to create, and there's a lot there, a lot of stories they want to tell, and nobody's really listening. Now they have a way to store that data, as well as Skype, reaching out and connecting with their families. Using color printers is a big request because they love to be able to keep what they see. And TVs. Our TV world has changed. When we used to just plug in a TV, turn on the volume knob, and watch TV. And now we have menus and cables and remotes. And there's just so much to know about TVs, it's almost impossible to operate anymore unless you have somebody who knows what's going on and how to explain it to them.
And I would think there's the older. I mean, I'm not talking somebody 65, maybe somebody in their 80s, late 70s, that they look at the programs on TV and go, wow, what a lot of junk on TV.
Yep.
And Netflix, I have to believe, is something, once they understand what it's all about, to watch movies that they like to, or programs from even years ago. I would think that's a big draw, or going to become a big draw. Would you agree?
Yes, I do. Netflix, Hulu, YouTube has become a big draw, really, when you get down to it. I work with different senior centers, and they all do little programs or have events that they want recorded. I've actually done this for them and put it on YouTube where they can go back and revisit the whole event and really recapture the joy and the precious moments that they shared with other people in that event right on YouTube for free. That really gets them excited.
And I think with families spread all over the country and all over the world, to be able to connect video, just like making a phone call, is a big plus. So I would think those are things, like you said, Skype and other programs like it, I'm sure, are huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And one of the great things about Skype and a lot of these programs is the cost. When you don't have to factor in the cost of an international phone call, when you can actually not only get a great sound, but see these people, look at their faces, look at what they're thinking and feeling. The whole conversation takes on a whole new feel. There's a connection there that just can't be established on a regular telephone.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking to you on Skype, so we're
right.
And I think the sound's pretty good. So,
good. Yeah, it does sound good.
I came across a study, most recent study by Pew Research, who comes out with a lot of different studies on technology, as you probably know. And they say that 6 in 10 seniors now go online. Just under half are broadband adopters. So the study found for the first time that more than half of the older adults, meaning 65 and older, were internet users. They say 59% of seniors report that they go online, a 6 percentage point increase in the course of a year, and 47% they say they have high-speed broadband connection at home. And also they say 77% of older adults have a cell phone, up from 69% in April 2012. Do those types of statistics does that make sense to you? Are you seeing similar things? Or would you say in your area percentages are even higher because of the area that you're in?
You hit the nail on the head with that one, Frank. It's in this area especially. I have seen so many seniors embrace this technology now to where it's hard to find some who don't. Particularly in this area, not only are they computer users, everybody is a broadband user. I haven't come across anybody who's using the old dial-up modems type of thing in a long, long time. Mm-hmm. Okay. In addition, they do embrace this with many different tools that they can use. They know they can get a tablet. They know that they can connect with all kinds of people just by hitting a button, which they just love. Once they understand, it really makes a big difference. But yes, I have one person who will actually boast that they are not on the computer, and lo and behold, she's one of my star students in my classes that I teach at the senior centers.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So the interest is there. Yeah. It's just getting somebody to take that first leap is the hardest part.
So I'm sure you must deal with seniors who have certain physical or other health issues, even with cognitive issues and maybe early stage dementia, and that may make it a little bit more difficult from a training perspective. So can you go through, how are you dealing with this and working with seniors? I'm sure you've learned a lot as you've gone since you started your company, but tell us a little bit about those types of situations. And I want those listening to this interview to know that certain physical and cognitive issues shouldn't stop them from learning this.
Absolutely not. They should do everything they can to allow themselves the opportunity to learn. The computers today come with so many new tools and apps that you can use to gain access to the computer. For the Mac, it's universal access. For the PC, it's ease of access centers. These are just native resident programs that allow you to magnify the screen, have this computer talk to you. There's a lot of different accessories on a computer today to make all this very accessible. On top of that, of course, there's programs you can purchase, such as Dragon, or another program I'm familiar with called Guide Hands Free, where you don't even have to touch the computer other than turning it on. And this program Guide will do everything for you, from reading emails to surfing the web, answering everything that you want to know. Now, in one situation, I think you'll find this interesting. I had one client about 1.5 years ago. I walked in, and on her computer, she had it draped with some linens. I said, "Where's the computer?" And she goes, "It's right there. It's covered." I said, "Well, let's go ahead and take a look at it." And she froze. Just couldn't breathe. And to make a long story short, we actually spent the first 2 sessions doing breathing exercises. Just looking at the covered computer, breathing, and realizing that the computer can be her friend. So after a while, after 2 sessions, we actually lifted the cloth off the computer. She looked at it. I said, "Breathe. Now let's reach over and turn it on and see what happens." Well, she did it, and she started to smile. And the next thing I know is she's actually getting eager to put her hands on the keyboard and do something. Now we'll fast forward a couple of months, about 8 to 10 months later. She calls me irritated. She wants to take her laptop on the road so she can read her emails, and she doesn't know how to disconnect.
So I got to believe you've seen situations that probably you said to yourself, "This is worth it all." Can you tell us maybe some, stories of people who it really enhanced their lives, changed their lives?
Oh, sure. I have several clients right now who are just now beginning to open the computer and see it for what it is. One client, she's Irish, and she's from Ireland, obviously, and her family is there. She's here, but she really wants to stay in touch with not just her family, but what's going on in Ireland. How can she find out what's happening and what her family is doing? She reads the Irish Times now every day and loves it. There's just nothing you can't get anymore. Right. And all the people who think that they're being limited in what they can do are realizing now that with computer applications for transportation, for watching movies, for looking or viewing other countries and their artifacts and museums, it's just limitless to how they can use this tool and go to do what they want us to do.
Yeah, that's it's very exciting, very exciting. So, are a lot of them? Are they moving from computer to, let's say, tablets or iPads type of things? Are they moving there? Or are they kind of sticking with the computer?
I'm seeing a variety right now. The tablet, as fun as it is and as new as it is, I find that seniors really like the stability of a desktop or something that's a little more stationary. Carrying things around gets a little bit scary for some seniors because they're afraid they're going to lose it or something's going to happen to it. The biggest thing I can tell them is that everything is replaceable and enjoy the mobility of these devices. I do teach iPad classes in specific, and they always fill up. So I can really see the trend starting to lean towards the tablets now. But for the most part, desktops and home-based units are still the leader.
Yeah. So, being in the area you're in, and you say you hold classes at senior community centers, et cetera, those that aren't in, the area you're in, and we'll certainly have you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, but if they're not in that area and would like to use a service like yours, where do they even begin? Where do they start?
I would recommend community centers and libraries. These organizations are loaded with resources that people can start getting assistance with computers and how to use not only how to use a computer, but to actually go ahead and use printers and tablets and all the other tools that are out there to enjoy. Learn how to use Microsoft Word. Learn how to use different programs that will allow them to discover themselves, or genealogy is really big with seniors. And that's another thing that you'll find a lot at community centers. Of course, they can always, I do offer telephone support from time to time, but there's a host of people. Look into your high schools and colleges. The kids there some of them are very eager to work with seniors and to learn.
That's a great idea. That's a wonderful idea. So what suggestions do you have to, let's say, the adult children? Let's say mom or dad, they've just been, they don't use a computer, they think they're too old, they're afraid, and an adult child says, wants them to learn. What suggestions do you have to them to approach mom or dad in the right way, and to try to get them to be open to learning?
Mm-hmm. For that, one time what I found really worked well was when one of the adult children just went ahead and set up a small computer in a corner of a room and turned on Skype and visited with his wife. And they had a lovely conversation. And all that time, the senior was sitting behind him and watching this take place. And really, one picture's worth 1,000 words. And in this case, the smiles that came across the people's faces were just unbelievable. I was told that within about 2 hours, they were trying to learn Skype themselves. So just by review, just by being there, and just by being patient and finding out what the fear is, what's the vulnerability, and showing that this is not going to happen, that you really can't break the computer. It's not going to reach out and bite. And what they can get from it is far superior than what they would fear would be the actual damage that they might cause.
I would think those that have grandchildren, whether they're nearby or not, and being able to connect with them pretty instantly would incentivize them enough to learn more.
Well, funny story on that, Frank. In one of my classes, I do this more often now. Many of the seniors have cell phones, believe it or not. They're the old. Some of them, a lot of them, are the old style, regular dumb phones, but they're still cell phones and they work. And I invite them. I say, "Hey, everybody, let's go ahead and send an LOL to your grandkids and see what happens." And you can just imagine when the grandson or granddaughter gets the text that says LOL, their eyeballs must go flying out the phone. We have a good time with that. I always get them laughing when we do that exercise. It's just one in a mill.
Yeah, my father-in-law's last birthday, and he's in his 80s, and I got him a smartphone, and sent it to him, and said, "I'm going to pay for the monthly. I mean, not going to cost you a penny." Okay, he sent it back. I mean, the main purpose we said is just you could use it as a phone, and then use FaceTime on it to be able to connect with your grandkids, and they could connect with you, and they could send you photos, and he didn't want to deal with it. So I probably didn't take the right approach.
Right. Well, just throwing something in somebody's face, you're going to find a resistance, because seniors sometimes just want to resist for the sake of resisting. We got to get past that. And I have found patience plus presentation equals participation.
Yeah, that's a good point. So tell us more about your organization. Tell us more about Senior Savvy, how people can contact you, types of things that you could help them with, and those that are remote, how you might be able to help them or guide them as well. So tell us more.
Yeah. Well, Senior Savvy, really the goal behind Senior Savvy is, like I said, to keep seniors engaged with today's technology. They're just a wonderful, appreciative group of people who really do want to remain connected, who want to be a part of our society. And unlike the days of old when we just warehoused people, now we bring our seniors into the family and keep them living longer, staying healthier, staying happier, because they are part of a community. So Senior Savvy, what I do is I provide installation, servicing, and instruction on anything with a switch, just about anything technology, whether it's computers, tablets, cell phones, networks, printers, all that is available through my service. What I would do normally is come in and I just talk with the person first. We find out what their feelings are about the unit, what they want to get from it, how they want to use it, where they want to use it, and then we take it from there. We'll discover what the possibilities are and bring them into the world of technology. And it's all a very reasonable rate, too. I call myself the affordable solution. Mm-hmm. So they're welcome to call me and inquire. And I'm there with a patience. It's my number one deliverable. And we do it at their place, at their pace.
Well, that's great. So tell us, share your website, any numbers that you want to share for people to get a hold of you.
My pleasure, Frank. Yes. My website has all the information you'd need to know about Senior Savvy, and you can find that at www.seniorsavvy, SENIORSSAVVY.com. That's two S's and two V's. or you're welcome to call me on my phone at the area code 650-776-8395.
And they can email you as well, right, Curtis?
Right. There is a contact page on the website.
Okay, got it.
Go to the contact, fill it out, send it to me. I answer all emails and respond to all inquiries.
Well, Curtis, I think what you're doing is wonderful, and I'm glad you made that decision to set up your organization. I'm sure you are changing people's lives every day, and just thank you for what you do. It's
my pleasure. It's great. It's a great feeling to give to the community and to know that these people are receptive to this idea, and we're making the world a little bit of a better place just by that, and I really appreciate it.
Great, and thank you so much for joining us on the Aging Boomers. And we'll have to have you back in the future. Let it, any new things coming out, let me know, and we'll have you back on. Okay.
Every time. I would love to talk with you anytime, Frank. Thank you.
Great. And I want to thank everybody for joining us on the Aging Boomers. Again, you could go to iTunes and subscribe. You could go to iHeartRadio, subscribe, Stitcher, Spreaker. We're even on Boomian now, and so a lot of different ways to listen to the show. You could also go to the Aging Boomers website or download the free app on your iPhone or Android phone. So everybody, again, thank you so much for joining us, and be safe, and we'll talk to you all soon.